Hey everyone, Xander here from Access Gaming Podcast, coming at you guys with another retro recommendation. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about Sonic Advance for the Game Boy Advance. Okay, this game came out in 2001, which was a very rocky time for Sega, because they had just lost so much money on the Sega Dreamcast. It kind of flopped, and I absolutely loved the Dreamcast. It just came out at the wrong time with the PS2 right around the corner. They lost so much money that they decided to get out of the whole console market, become a strictly software company, meaning a lot of the Sega exclusive titles were going to other platforms like Nintendo, PlayStation, and Microsoft's Xbox. So, needless to say, when I was opening up Nintendo Power and I saw Sonic in there, and they were talking about a new original title coming out for the Game Boy Advance, I was very intrigued and very interested, because I did grow up in the 90s and I do remember seeing the commercials of Sega versus Nintendo, and I had the Super Nintendo back in the day and I always wanted to play a Sonic game. So this is kind of like, back then it was 11 years. It was like 11 years in the making, and it finally came together and I was like, oh my gosh, it's very, very surreal. But Sonic Advance is a very good 2D platformer. It's, the same Sonic goodness that we've grown to love and enjoy, They take some of the aspects of Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2, meaning that you can play as some other characters. You can play as Sonic, Knuckles, Tails, and this is like her gaming debut as a playable character, and that's Amy. And each character has their own weakness and strengths, which I thought was really interesting and added a lot of replay. Like Sonic, he's your all-around go-to guy. There's not much to say about him. Tails, he can fly. He can also do the spin dash, and he can also swim, which kind of adds a little bit of problems later on when you're in an underwater stage and you're trying to jump. The tail starts swimming and then something hits them and rings go everywhere, so that can be kind of wonky. Knuckles, he plays a lot like Knuckles in Sonic 3, where you can glide, climb walls, and they added a melee feature where basically you can punch the people in the face, which is pretty awesome. And Amy is, by far the weakest link. She can't, hit enemies while she jumps. She can't spin dash. She can grind on rails like Sonic, because that's something they added to this game. But they mainly focus on her giant hammer that she runs around with. So if you're looking for a challenge, I highly advise you to play as Amy, because the game gets so hard playing as her. It's very difficult. But you do have to play as all characters. If you beat the game as all characters, I meant to say, then it opens up another level, and so it does add some replay value. They also added the Chao Garden feature in there, which if you guys have played Sonic Adventure or Sonic Adventure 2 on the GameCube, then you know all about the Chao Garden. And basically you can hook your Game Boy Advance up to your GameCube and interact with the different Chaos and stuff. Now, is it gimmicky? Yeah. Did I enjoy it? A little bit. The Chao Garden's a little bit more limited than it was on the GameCube. And if you're a huge pet, simulation type of person, like you like the whole Gigapets, Tamagotchi type stuff, then yeah, you'll really enjoy this. But I have to say, out of everything, I just liked the game. I didn't really play the Chao stuff too much. But yeah, Sonic Advance is really, really fun. And the cool thing about it is it doesn't really cost that much. It's a pretty inexpensive game. So you can go online, you can find it really, really, you're not going to be searching on eBay and fighting bidders all night and day to play this game. So that's definitely an added bonus. Now, if you guys noticed when I was showing you guys the Game Boy Advance case, it's in a DS case, and in case you guys haven't watched my other videos where I've talked about it or saw other people's videos, then you guys should visit the description that's below, and that's the coverproject.net. Where basically it's a forum site where people, they scan raw images of files and they break them down where you can just print them onto any case and you can put them on there. Which like my Game Boy Advance games are in the DS cases, but I also have the like normal Game Boy, that's Wario World, and I also have Pokemon Gold. I print them all out and put them on DS cases, and it's really good. And if you're like me and you like to display everything on the shelf, it's definitely a perk for the game room. Okay, but anyway, guys, this concludes my review of Sonic Advance, my retro recommendation. I highly advise you guys to play this game and try it out. You owe it to yourself if you're a huge Sonic fan. Alright guys, until next time, happy gaming.